Hey everyone, my name is Cage and I'm joined by Charles Pettick and Lucas Chappell, which played leading development roles in this Greenwave Games production, Delusion. So, on to you guys.
Hello, my name is Charles, and we did Delusion. I took a leading role in programming.
And I was a leading role in level design. So, pretty much throughout the production of this game, we mostly just, when we worked on the separate things, he did a lot of programming things that I don't quite understand programming. I'm a level designer, but I just helped the lead role of level designing and helping different level designers on their different tasks and what they were supposed to do throughout the game.
So, what was the aim of the game? Like, what was the basic rundown? Like, what is Delusion?
It is a story of a man who comes in for a job interview, just regular Monday man, and he falls into a distorted world when he arrives at his own cubicle.
I mean, yeah, that's the basic rundown of the stories. It's just these different delusions and these.
So this is I assume leading into that.
Yeah.
This is like the outside the job. This is the job place. I understand. What made you decide? Like, it doesn't have a definitive art style. This is a very realistic game. But what made you want to like? What was your intention when you made the levels? Like, did you want it to come across as more like eerie and edgy, or was it?
So when we first created levels, we had a lot of disputes over levels and a lot of issues with levels, but we kind of wanted to go for like a more realistic vibe while also trying to keep like a more game, like you keep it as a game style so people understand that we're not going for super hyper realistic, just a more relaxed game style. I mean, it was a school project, so it wasn't going to be anything huge, but
Someone likes to use a lot of assets from online.
we found a lot of online assets and a lot of things like that to further the game. But yeah.
How did you define divide the team effort that went into making it? How did you divide?
If someone was ever free from doing already a project, then they would be helping with another part of the game. So if he was ever done with his level and he had nothing else to do, then he would help other people with it.
That makes sense. Did you use any external tools to create this game? I know this is Unreal Engine, but like, did you guys look into using Game Maker? Did you do any modeling, animations?
There's a couple models we made. Like we had some art teams that made a couple models in Blender.
And another one used a different program besides Blender.
Yeah, and then we used like an external site for a couple assets and stuff, like royalty-free assets and things such as that.
I use a lot of the forums, YouTube, and the Unreal website themselves for helping with programming.
Smart.
Forums are a lifesaver.
Are there any like hidden features or Easter eggs in this game that you implemented?
There are Easter eggs. I believe we kept those in.
There's a couple.
There's a couple.
A couple funny things that we just did during the process of making that we never
This
quite took out.
man did a lot of it.
That makes sense. It's like this game's like office horror. It's very unique. Like I feel like a lot of people don't explore this concept.
I kind of wish they did. I definitely enjoyed making this game and testing it out while I'm programming because of just all the different like assets and stuff we got to use with this type of game. It was just different and very spooky.
Did you guys take inspiration from like maybe any other games you've seen or any other projects that other people are
I
making?
think you guys had a couple of
There was a couple inspirations. So as of like for like movement, and then we're trying to implement like crouching systems and different parkour systems and stuff like that. And so like we took a couple things like just pretty generic things, but I think for the whole office kind of horror vibe, there wasn't a specific game. We just were really intrigued at the fact, and we were like, well, it'd be a cool, interesting thing that not a lot of people have done. So
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it is interesting. It's a nice game.
and I think like our game could use a little more polishing, but I think if there was a whole polished version of this game with this whole concept and theory, I think it'd be really interesting.
Yeah, at the end of the day, this was a year one project. This is a bunch of people that have never, more than likely, have not touched
I've
anything
never-
like this before.
I've
Yeah,
never
you
even
had it.
touched Unreal Engine before.
I have had a tiny experience in slight game making, but definitely not Unreal. I do wish we put a little more direction in. A lot of people have trouble when they first get you collect camera pieces throughout the game, and when you collect your first one, you're supposed to go back through the elevator, but we didn't give any.
Like any direction.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
didn't give
I
direction
understand,
on.
yeah.
That was an issue we had a lot. Well, because it was all our first times, and so we
Yeah, it
never,
makes sense. You guys are also
We were
focused
like,
on
we
teaching
knew what we were
yourself how to
supposed to
do
do.
things. You're less focused on directing the character. That's a very good way to
we
put
were
it.
like, we knew what we were doing, so we didn't really think to explain.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of issues and a lot of things that we learned a lot from there. And I think if we went back and redid this, we would have a lot of different changes and a lot of things
Oh,
we
yeah.
could do a lot better.
That makes sense. Do you guys have any like closing points that you want to get into, or is that a good?
Yeah, that's about all that happened. There was a lot of bugs that happened.
A lot of bugs, but it's part of game making, and it's a good learning
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, how did you guys iron out the bugs? What was the process of ironing out?
A lot of
Everything
them
that
dealt
you-
with our revision control stuff that someone had particular issues with for most of the time, but we had a great mentor, Mr. Hanks,
help us?
help us through a lot of that revision control, and I looked through a lot of forums when it came to programming and all that to help me try to track what problems, like where problems originated from, so I can go and fix that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I think that about wraps it up. Thank you guys for your time.
Yeah, of course.
That's Charles Pettick and Lucas Chapel for you guys. Thank you.